You guys, sorry, you already know that today I'm bringing you guys another Pokemon tier list. Today we are diving into Generation 7, the Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon era of Pokemon. I've already done a video like this for Gen 9 and Gen 8, so we're working our way backwards, and now we're on Gen 7, which, it was actually really hard to find a tier list that had, like, all the Pokemon. This is the only one that I found, and it has these, like, interesting-looking sprites and stuff. So that is what we're working with today. And, yeah, I am not the biggest Sun and Moon fan, though I have come around a little bit, at least on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I think that they are solid Pokemon games. I do think that I find the designs as a whole a little underwhelming. I feel like this is the third video in a row that I'm saying that. Actually, no, I'd say Generation 9 was, alright. Didn't have as much top-tier Pokemon, but didn't have that many bottom-tier Pokemon either. There was definitely more bottom-tier Pokemon in Gen 8, though I, still had some good stuff. And I think this is going to be a little bit of a rough video. I really think the designs for Gen 7 are not fantastic, though I may be surprising myself here. So yeah, we're just going to jump into it. I'm going to give you my opinion on basically every single Pokemon that came out in this generation. I at least have a little bit more experience with these Pokemon because I did play through the entirety of Moon once. I played through the entirety of Ultra Sun once, and I even went back to play Ultra Sun again and got like halfway through before I got distracted by life and just put it down. It happens all the time, really not a reflection of the quality of the game. But yeah, so I have a little bit more connection to these Pokemon. So yeah, once we go back even further, Generation 6 is where I have like really strong connections, and then obviously that and before. Gen 7 is the first one where I really kind of just start to fall off a little bit. But, there's still going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I have these same 5 tiers that I had for my Gen 8 and Gen 9 videos. I don't really believe in there being like an F tier Pokemon. I mean, there probably could be some at some point. There might even be at least one that exists here. But just for consistency's sake, we're just going to keep these same 5 tiers. And this is just how I would tier them as Pokemon, not necessarily in relation to each other. Just like, if it's an S tier Pokemon, not even in, like, if the best Pokemon in this generation was still an A tier Pokemon overall, I would still put them in A tier, if that makes any sense. Though there are going to be a couple of S tiers, because I already see some. But, yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Alolan forms. We have the Alolan, Rattata and Eradicate. I think these are solid. Actually, probably think I like the Rattata a little bit more, but I think they're both B tier, and I will, order them, like, within the same tiers as well. I have no problems against them. I think they're solid. It's a cool looking Rattata, a fine looking Eradicate. So I don't really have any issues with that. Alolan Raichu, I think I feel similarly about. I would put it. I think this is also going in B tier, but oops. Actually might put that in the middle of the Rattata Eradicate. Like, as I look at it more, I'm just like, I think I like the Alolan Rattata more. And I think the Eradicate is a little bit, like, lower in the tier. So we shall see. Then we have Alolan Sandshrew and Sandslash. I think Sandshrew is a... I'll put that as a B tier. Like, I don't think it adds that much, but I don't think it needs to. What really, I think, gets added is the Sandslash, which is going to be our first S tier. I really like Alolan Sandslash. I really like normal Sandslash as well. I think they're both very, very good Pokemon, but I really like the design of, like, the ice on the back. It's very, very good. Not my absolute favorite of this generation. What might end up being my absolute favorite is going to be potentially this. I really like Alolan Vulpix, and I love Alolan Ninetales. Again, I love normal Vulpix and normal Ninetales as well, so I don't even know if I like them more than the originals, but I probably do. I really, really like Alolan Ninetales. Definitely one of my favorite Pokemon, and it's grown on me even more so over time. I just really like the design, it's just very, like, regal and, like, elegant. I like especially Alolan Ninetales a lot. But Vulpix is also, incredibly cute. It's great. And then we're just gonna go straight to the bottom tier. I don't really like Alolan Diglett. I hate Alolan Dugtrio. I mean, I just don't like the hair. I don't care what the reason is for why it's there. I don't like it at all. Diglett is not as offensive, but I don't know. They keep trying to reinvent, like, Diglett and Dugtrio, and it's just like, I don't see it. I don't really see the point. Alolan Meowth is fine. I don't have anything, like, for or against it. But I do have something against Alolan Persian. This thing is terrible. I was like, do I like it more than the Alolan Dugtrio? These two are just trash. These are probably going to stay as, like, the bottom of the list for the entire video. I hate these Pokemon with a burning passion. Alright, then we can go up to the Alolan, you know, Geodude, Graveler, Golem. I think these are fine. I think I'd put the Geodude above the Raticate. I think the Graveler can go right next to him as well. I think I'm actually just gonna put all three of them just like next to each other. I think they're good. I don't think they're great, but I don't think they're bad either. Yeah, I feel fine about that. I don't really have any strong opinions about any of them. You know, I like normal Geodude, Graveler, and Golem, and I feel like I like these as well. It doesn't like mess them up that badly. I think it's solid. Alolan, Grimer, and Muck, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't hate them. You know, I get what it's going for with like the rainbow like oil sludge spill thing. Still not pretty, but it's not supposed to be because, you know, it's a Grimer and a Muck. It's literally positive sludge. It's not as offensive as like any of these. I think it's solid, but not like super exciting. Alolan Executor is really funny, but I don't think the joke stays funny after like the first time you see it. So I'm gonna put that in the C tier as well. I don't know. I just don't really care. Now here kind of comes the big question for me. I really need to decide: is Alolan Marowak my favorite Pokemon of this generation, or is it Alolan Ninetales? And it's a really, really tough decision for me, and it could change on any given day. But I do think that I will put... I think I feel good saying that Alolan Marowak is my favorite. Oh, gosh. Yeah, no. I'll keep it like this. We'll see if I change my tune by the end of the video. But that is how I feel for right now. But, okay. Now we're going to jump into the actual new Pokemon that aren't just forms. You have Rowlet. I think Rowlet's very cute. I'm going to put it as an A tier. It's really, really good. I'm not at the point where like I would die for it like some people would. It's fine. Dartrix is also good, but not as good. I think I'd put this a tier below, and maybe even below Sandshrew. But I do think that Decidueye probably goes back up into A tier, and I think I'd probably like it more than Rowlet. Yeah, I do think that that the Rowlet line is the best line in the game, the best starter line. So you know, that's where I'm at with the starters. Moving on with these starters, I think Litten is a high B tier. I think Torracat is kind of ugly. I'd put that at the top of C tier. Yeah, you can actually stay below Meowth. Yeah. And then Incineroar, I've kind of, you know, it's grown on me a little bit. I definitely don't hate Incineroar. I think Incineroar is going to probably go in like the middle of B tier here, maybe above the Rattata, below the Dartrix. I like Incineroar. I don't have any problems with it. You know, it's very cool. We got the sort of wrestling thing going on, but it is not my favorite. But I don't find it offensive in any way. All right, then these three. Okay, Popplio. I think I'm gonna put in the lower end of B tier. I do like Popplio. You know, you got the little clown circus performer thing going on. It's not too bad. Brionne, I really don't like. I think I might actually put that below Diglett. I really don't like Brionne. Something about the balance that it has of its, you know, the extra little things there with the clown nose. It's like not as good. It's not as cute as like Popplio, and is not as like regal and elegant as something like Primarina is. Primarina is also going to go into the B tier. I think I'll use the Geodude stuff as like a good separation, but I think I'd put it like right in there. I don't hate any of these starters except for Brionne. I don't really like Torracat, but I think the starters are good overall, though I do think that starters in previous generations are better. So that's really all there is to say about that. Okay, then we're going to move on to Pick-a-Peck. Pick-a-Peck is fine. I think there's gonna be a lot of B tiers. I was gonna say I still think I like. You know what? I should just throw Eradicate and see. At this point, I was like, the more I look at the Eradicate, I'm just like, I don't really like it. But I do think this is the sort of border that I keep using. And I was like, this should just be the top of C tier at this point, because I like it, but I don't love it. Pick-a-Peck, I like. Brumbeak doesn't really do anything for me. I think it's just sort of that middle stage between Pick-a-Peck and Toucannon. I think I'll put that as the new top of C tier. And then Toucanon is really cool. You know, you get the Toucan. It's not complicated in any way, but it doesn't need to be. I think I'll actually put Toucanon at the top of B tier. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think it's good, but it's not like a neutral feeling like some of the C tiers are. I think I'm trying to like divvy it up as like D is like I don't like, C is like I just feel nothing, B is like oh yeah I like them, they're neat, A is like oh I really like them, and S is just like hey these are like the best. Oh gosh, all right, we have more D tiers. I really don't like Young Goose or Gumshoes like at all. Gumshoes I think is even worse. You know, Diglett, this little Diglett isn't that bad. This is kind of the benchmark, but I think Alolan Diglett probably stays at the very top of D tier. It might even move up to the bottom of C tier. I really don't like. Honestly, no. Brionne can go above them as well. I just really don't like the weird hair thing that they have going on. It's just not doing it. Grubbin doesn't really do anything for me. I'm gonna throw that in C tier. Charjabug is cool. Maybe a slight upgrade. It also doesn't really do anything for me. What does do it for me is Vikavolt. Vikavolt is the top of A tier, I think. It's not my absolute favorite, but I do really like it. You know, it's also very strong. This is mostly a list based on like designs and how cool I think they are and how much I like their design. But there is something to be said with just how strong Vikavolt is in the game, even though it can be in Sun and Moon, it's very much a pain to get. In Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it is not as much of a pain to get. But yeah, it's solid. Brawler is one that has some personality. Don't think I love it. I'm kind of wavering between B and C tier. I think I'm gonna put this at the bottom of B tier just because it does sort of have, you know, it has a sort of personality where it's yeah, it's got the boxing gloves, got the crab. I do like it. I do think Crabominable goes a bit too far and it's just kind of doing too much. I don't know, it doesn't have the same sort of vibe as like the little boxing gloves and all that sort of stuff. It kind of starts doing a bit too much. I'm actually going to throw it in E tier, maybe above, like right around there. I don't really like it all that much. I mean, it is really strong. It's also a pain to get in the original Sun and Moon, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. I think Brawler is better for sure. Oricorio is Pokemon, I think that's kind of grown on me a little bit. I actually think I would put Oricorio above Popplio in the B tier. I like it. It's not all that good or all that useful, but especially this red one, it's really good. I'm actually a little upset that there isn't the different Oricorio forms that I can bring up as a picture. I'm actually going to look at them just so I can tell you how specifically how I put them. Definitely the red Oricorio is the best. I think the purple Oricorio is the second best. It is the one that's Ghost. Yeah, that would also be like up here for sure. I do think that the pink Psychic one is probably the third best, and then the yellow like Cheerleader Electric one is probably the worst. I think the Psychic and Electric Oricorio I'd probably put in C tier, whereas the Fire and Ghost Oricorio would go in B tier. Yeah, that's how I feel about those. Okay, we have Cutiefly. Cutiefly I like only because of how small it is. Like, I don't know, trying to find like a good Cutiefly picture in like the new Pokemon Snap. That's like actually my biggest experience with Cutiefly. So that's really cool. Rabombi's really fast. Rabombi kind of loses a little bit for me. I think I just put it in C tier. It doesn't really do anything for me, but it's not offensive in any way. Cutiefly at least has the thing that it's like ridiculously small, and I have some sort of connection to it in a game, so we'll get at that. Rockruff is sort of just in the same sort of Rowlet tier for me. It's just really cute. It's great. It doesn't need to do anything special. It's just really good. And then we have Lycanroc. This only has the one Lycanroc form, and I think this is the best Lycanroc form anyway. So I would actually put that a little bit higher in A tier and put it above Decidueye, but not as, I don't like it as much as Vikavolt, although they are very close. The other Lycanroc forms, the Midnight form would probably be like somewhere in the B tier. I like it, but it's not as amazing. And then that Midday form, that like third form that they came out with, is like fine. I think it just doesn't do anything like special. It's kind of just like a slight downgrade of this one. So I'm not that upset that the other forms aren't here. Wishy-washy. Wishy-washy as this sort of Pokemon doesn't really do anything for me. You know, you do have like the big one where it like it's all together. I think I'm still putting Wishy-washy at like the bottom of B tier. It might end up getting moved down to C tier. I'm not entirely sure. We shall see. We have Marini and Toxapex. I do like them. I think Marini also kind of goes to the bottom of B. I think Toxapex has a little bit more going on, and Toxapex will go, honestly, probably to like the top of B tier. Maybe around here. Definitely higher up in B tier. I think Toxapex is a cool Pokemon, and I was still playing a little bit of competitive Pokemon when Gen 7 dropped, and Toxapex was like one of the most insane defensive monsters to try and deal with, which is fun. I'm sure it's not nearly as strong now, but yeah, Toxapex is pretty cool. Mudbray, Mudsdale. I don't like Mudbray all that much. It's definitely 100% to do with like the little hair on its head, so I would put that probably around here. Mudsdale is definitely an improvement. I would probably put it maybe right around here. It's good, not fantastic, but I do like it. Dewpider, I don't really like spiders, although I do like the gimmick that Dewpider and Araquanid have. I think Dewpider is probably still going to like maybe top of C tier, and Araquanid is going to go to the top of B tier. Yeah, I like the Araquanid that you get to fight one as like the totem Pokemon in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and it has a pretty cool thing. Also, I think this is one of the few Pokemon that wasn't spoiled to me before the game came out, so this was like a genuine surprise to see that it existed, which was nice. Sun and Moon were pretty notorious for leaking like every Pokemon. Not even just like leaks, in like official announcements. They were like officially announcing like most of the Pokédex before it even came out, and Araquanid was one of the few that made it through, I'm pretty sure. So that was neat. I like it. Let's see, Fomantis. Don't really have anything strong to say about Fomantis. I think it will go right around here. Lurantis I like a little bit more. That also is a totem Pokemon that has, you know, a little bit of a connection. I have a little bit of a connection to. I think I'd put that right above Mudsdale, actually. I like Lurantis. Orlal, Shiinotic, I don't really have any strong feelings about. I mean, I'm saying the same things over and over again, but like, these just aren't really all that exciting, you know? I will put this at the close to the top of C tier. I'll just put both of them next to each other because I feel kind of the same about both of them. They are not really worth using. They're not very good. And I don't really have strong connections to them otherwise either. So I'll just put them in C tier. This might be a little bit of a hot take. I've never been the biggest Salandit Salazzle fan. I think Salandit go to the top of C tier. I don't like how curvy Salazzle is. I don't know how to say this. Like, Salazzle, very sexual? I don't know. It's very strange. I'm not a big fan. I don't hate it enough to put it in D tier, but it's not far off. Yeah, like towards the bottom of C tier. I've never been the biggest Salazzle fan, and it's definitely just the way that it stands and like nothing else. That's, yeah, not the biggest fan. Another one that I like, don't love, Stuffle and Beware. I think Stuffle can go towards the top of C tier. Beware. It is funny that Beware is like really strong. It's kind of big and doofy, so I see the appeal. I think, I will put it. I'll give it the bottom of B tier. I do like it. It has some merits for you know, existing, but it's not like my favorite thing in the world. But I do like it. Yeah. I like it enough. I like it enough for that. So we'll throw that there. Yeah, a bunch of just like, there's so many Pokemon. I'm just like, man, I don't really have anything strong to say about these. Bounsweet is fine. Put it here. Steenie, I don't really like the name Steenie, but I do think it starts going into what it becomes in Serena. I think it works as a solid middle evolution. I will put it slightly higher in C tier. And then Serena is definitely going to B tier. That is, you know, it's fully evolved. And it just looks a lot better. Like, fully developed. I think it's still... I like Lurantis more. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think putting it right here above Oricorio, that's sort of my initial thought, and I think I'm good keeping it there. Comfey is pretty cool. You know, it's got the little, you know, lay thing going on. I like it. You know, it was a nice variety of fairy Pokemon. This is also gonna go in the B tier. At this point, I was gonna, like, do I throw it here below Oricorio? Yeah, it's like, I like it. It's not like amazing, but I do like it. We have these two. Oranguru, I don't really feel strongly about. I think this goes to the top of C tier because it's not bad at all, but I don't feel all that strongly about. I think Passimian is a little bit better. Definitely good enough to get into B tier. I would actually... Ooh. You know what? The more that I'm looking at it in comparison, I think Passimian goes, like, up this high. Like, higher B tier, maybe, like, right below Toxapex. I think Passimian's really cool. You know, it hits hard. It's good. You know, I like good fighting Pokemon. So, yeah. I like Passimian there. Wimpod. I actually kind of forgot that Wimpod existed. So, for that reason alone, I'm going to put it in C tier. But Gliscopod, very cool. I think this is going to go to the top of A tier. It's not among my all-time favorite Pokemon. It's definitely the first one that I have considered putting in S tier, but out of the ones that aren't just Alolan forms. But I don't think I feel strongly enough about Gliscopod to put it in S tier. Sandygast and Palossand is probably going to be, I don't know, is probably one of my more hot takes. We'll see. Sandygast, I like the spooky ghost castle. I'm just gonna spoil it already. Palossand is going up into S tier. I love Palossand a lot. I do have a connection of using it in a draft league format a while ago and really trying to make it work, and it did kind of work. It was pretty fun to use. I mean, I wasn't great, so I didn't like win a lot of games with it, but it definitely, you know, was more of a thorn in people's sides than they were ready for. I don't know. I really like Palossand. I like the spooky sandcastle thing. Sandygast just does that, but, like, not as good. It doesn't have, like, the cuteness factor in the same way that, like, Rockruff and Rowlet have. So it's probably just going to get thrown in, like, the middle of B tier, like, maybe around here. Sandygast is the reason I love this line. Palossand is. I love Palossand. It is. Man, I mean, we'll see as we go down. This Palossand might actually be my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon that isn't in a Alolan form. Which is really funny. Pyukumuku, I don't really like. Definitely bottom of C tier. It might go to D tier. I don't really like Pyukumuku. It is kind of funny. It has, like, the fist, or, like, the hand thing that can come out. But I'm just gonna keep it at bottom of C tier, and we'll call that fine. Titanol and Savali, I think, are good. I think they go in B tier for sure. I think both of them probably end up right next to each other. I think I'm going to put them right above Toxapex, but I do think they're going to go right next to each other. I think they're really cool. Savali's thing that, you know, has, like, the same stats across the board, and you can sort of, I forget how it changes its type, or, like, can use an attack to change the attack type or something like that. I forget exactly how it works, but I think it's a pretty neat mechanic, and, I don't know, I like them. I like them for sure. Minior sort of exists. It's just Flying Rock. It's fine. I think it can go... It's inoffensive, but I don't really have any strong feelings for it, so I will put it towards the top of C tier. Omala is cool, but I don't have the strongest feelings towards it. I think it's going to go to the bottom of B tier, like right around here. I do like it. I don't love it. Turtonator. Again, I like it, don't love it. I would put this... maybe slightly higher, but also in B tier. Just on the other side of Crabrawler. What do you do about Pick-a-Peck as well? You know, it's good. It's also got the dragon typing, which is cool. Fire dragon, very good, but it's just a big turtle. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just the fact that other dragons are better and other turtles are better and other fire. Like, I feel like it just doesn't stand out in any way. Maybe that's the problem. I don't entirely know. But it's good. I've just never been like crazy about it. Togedemaru, you know, this is the Pikachu clone, or one of them, I guess, depending on how you view Mimikyu. And it's fine. I don't have strong feelings towards it. I do think it's better than everything in C tier. Yeah, I think as far as Pikachu clones go, I just don't care that much about this one. Not the electric one. Yeah, you know what? I think it can go a little bit higher. I think it can sneak into the B tier. I do kind of like it. You know, it's got the very round, got the steel typing, so it does have a little bit of uniqueness. I like it. Mimikyu, I think is, you know, a pretty popular Pokemon. I like it. Not my favorite, but I do like it. I'd probably put it maybe like middle of B tier, maybe a little bit higher in B tier actually. I don't know. I'm like trying to like compare to things next to it. I'm like, actually, Mimikyu can go. I think this feels like a right spot for it. I like Mimikyu. I like its sort of gimmick, but not like my all-time favorite. You can see this generation really lacks like top-end Pokemon for me. But no shortage of bottom-end Pokemon, because that is where Bruxus is going. What a nightmare monster. The teeth, the colors, it is just... I don't know what this is supposed to be and why this exists. It's not even all that good. It doesn't need to exist. I don't like it. You have weird hair, big head, big mouth, and I don't know what this design is. It's awful. I do not like it. Grandpa, I like. I think the novelty of Grandpa is sort of worn off. You know, when you first see it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. You have this old Grandpa dragon. It's very cool, but I think the novelty is sort of worn off at this point to where it's like, I like it, I don't love it. I'll put it like right next to like Primarina, I guess. You know, it's good. Not great, but I do like it. Dhelmise is very cool. You know, this ghost grass like anchor thing. I would put it. I think I'll put it at the bottom of A tier. Yeah, I like it. It's not my absolute favorite, but I do really like it. It looks so cool. The seaweed, you know, wrapped around like the anchor, and then you have like the eyes because of the ghost taking over. It's very good. All right, and then we have this line here. Jangmo doesn't do anything for me. I don't actually think it looks all that good even. But you get it because of what it evolves into. Akumo looks better. Definitely gonna go to B tier. Where in B tier? Probably above Brawler. I don't think it can go any higher than that. And then Como, you know, the big, you know, the fully realized form of all the scales. You know, dragon fighting is a cool typing. It is good. I think this can sneak into A tier. Where do I feel good setting this at? Where do I feel good setting this at? This doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Definitely over this way. Do I like it more or less than Rowlet? I would say less. I think this is a solid spot. I do like Como. I think it's really good. I think in terms of, is this a pseudo legendary? I forget if this counts as the pseudo legendary of this generation. I think it might. I think it, you know, pales in comparison to a lot of the others, but for a generation that doesn't have a lot of great dragons to choose from, I do think that this is probably the best one. So it earns some points for that, and you know, a really cool fighting type. Again, like we're getting, by the time you're coming to Generation 7, like they need to find like new ways to make like interesting fighting type Pokemon, and I do think that this is one where they did that with. Alright, so now we get to the Tapus. Alright, so Tapu Koko, I do really like. I think Tapu Koko can go to the bottom of A tier, actually. I do really like, I like its design. I like the yellow, the sort of face, the way it flies around the game. I think it's good. Tapu Lele, I think, is a little weaker. I think I don't have like a super strong connection to it. I feel like I remember Tapu Lele being like the best one competitively. You know, things could be completely different now. But I do think this was the one that like people really liked running. I think it's just gonna go somewhere in B tier. I think it has this, it's like the same thing as Turtonator, where it's like it has some things going for it, but just for some reason it's not landing the same way that I think it should. Tapu Bulu, I think. Now this is also one where I'm pretty sure I remember using it in Draft League format for like the one Gen 7 Draft League that I did, and Tapu Bulu is very, very strong, and I think it's my favorite. I think it's my favorite of the Tapus. And I would probably say, yeah, I think this is the best fighting type in the game. Maybe right below. Actually, I really like Tapu Bulu. I'd be willing to go so far and say that it's up this high, right above Lycanroc, up below Vikavolt. Yeah, no, that's a good spot for it, for sure, for sure. Tapu Fini is, I think, a little bit better than Tapu Lele. I don't think it's quite in the A tier, but I do think it's close. I think I actually put it above the Sandshrew. Yeah, that's good. Cosmog has a very cute presence throughout the game. Obviously, you know, getting the Bagnebby, all that sort of stuff. It's very fun. It is cute. I think this also can go to the top of B tier. Cosmoem does absolutely nothing for me. I don't even remember it existing all that much in the game. So it's inoffensive though. So I think it's just gonna go somewhere in like the middle C tier here. And then I've never been crazy about the legendaries of this game. The cover art, like legendaries. Solgaleo is fine. I think I would put it. I think it's gonna end up somewhere in the B tier. I'm just trying to decide where. Above Grandpa. Let's see. Do I like it more than Primarina? Yeah. More than the old one, Raichu, probably. Yes. I'm just like, where does this stop? Where does this stop? Might actually go up this way. Might be more higher in B tier than I initially expected. And below the Sandshrew. Yeah, maybe somewhere around there. And I think I like Lunala a little bit more. I like the sort of wings with the night sky here. So I think Lunala can go to the bottom of A tier, just because I do prefer it between the two legendaries. I do like the wings and the sort of like, you know, the moon stars, like night sort of design on the wings. I just think it looks really, really good. Then we get to the Ultra Beasts. Let's see. Man, I don't have the strongest feelings about most of these. Lego, I think, is cool in the way it's used in game. I do think Rock Poison is a very interesting typing. I remember it being very good. I will put it pretty high in B tier, I think. Yeah, I think that looks good. Buzzwole is kind of funny, just with like how swole the muscles are, the 4 legs, the long nose. The bug fighting is also very strong. I think I'll kind of put this in like Incineroar, where it's just like I kind of want to love it, I kind of want to hate it, and it's sort of it sort of averages out to where it's just like, you know what, it's kind of grown to me to where it's good enough. Pheromosa doesn't really do anything for me. It's literally just like a stick, like a stick bug. Everything about it is so skinny. It has like the big like hair thing. I'm actually gonna put it in the C tier, probably right below Oranguru. That's out of the Ultra Beast. I don't really like it all that much. Xurkitree I've always had a fondness for, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I actually think that's going to be going like top of A tier, right below Golisopod, but probably my favorite electric type in the game. I don't really know what it is. It's literally just kind of like a bundle of like walking wires, but I do really like electricity. I am pretty biased towards electric Pokemon for the most part anyway. There are some that miss the mark, but more times than not, they will end up being one of my like sort of weird personal favorites, regardless of how good they are or not. Even though Xurkitree is pretty strong, so yeah, I feel good about that. Celesteela is fine. We're running out of room right now. I have to scroll up and down, so Celesteela can go in B tier for sure. I think probably right below Solgaleo. Somewhere in that tier, I think. Around that range is where Celesteela goes. Kartana is kind of cool. This sort of like paper thing, even though it's a grass steel type. The typing versus design doesn't actually make that much sense. From what I can tell. I mean, surely whatever it's based on probably makes it make more sense. But I would put Kartana. I'll actually just put it right above Celestial. I feel similarly about both. I think I like Kartana a little bit more. Guzzlord is kind of funny. It has like the giant mouth, another dragon type. It has an insane HP stat. I think Guzzlord can also go in the B tier. I think I will put it right around here. Yeah, there. I think that's a good spot for it. I like Guzzlord. Don't love it, but definitely not negative about it. I think Necrozma is really cool. I think Necrozma can actually go bottom of A tier. It's very good. I feel like how it's used in the game. Honestly, might move it above Lunala. I don't know that I can push it any higher than that, but I do like Necrozma. Magearna, I actually watched the Pokemon movie that has Magearna in it, which kind of endeared me to it a little bit more than I otherwise would have been. And it was also the one that taught me how to say Magearna, because I always called it like Magiarna before. And I'm like, oh, it's Magearna. Got you. I will actually put this. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like right below Tapu Fini. I like Magearna. Good. Marshadow doesn't really do anything for me. I think Marshadow is gonna be the top of C tier. I wanted to like it more, but I think just how its size versus like what it is, it's like a fighting ghost. Really cool, but it's like just very small. I don't really know all that much what it's going for. Yeah, I think top of C, bottom of B is probably like the highest it could go. Alright, we're almost done. Poipole. Poipole does nothing for me. I'm gonna put it in C tier below Chargebug. Naganadel is a little bit better, not amazing. I think I'm putting it like bottom of B tier. Sure, right around here. I like it. Poison Dragon, cool. I don't even remember if you can like get it. I mean, I'm sure you can, but like what I remember, that was like the Pokemon you fought against. I don't remember if you were able to get Naganadel or when you could. It's not about if you could, about when you could. It's good, but not great. I feel like it could have done a little bit better with the design. Stakataka. Stakataka is one of those that is kind of fun. It's, you know, it's fun to say, and I actually think that it helps improve my opinions on it as a whole, which is weird how that works sometimes. I would put. I like Stakataka. It's fun to say. I'm glad it exists. Just a pile of rocks. Yeah, I think that's solid. I think Celestial is better. I think that's a good spot for it. Blacephalon, that's another actually kind of good name. I don't know, something satisfying about saying Blacephalon, but it is sort of a clown with like no face, sort of like a juggling thing. Fire Ghost is good typing, obviously. You know, you see my opinions on Alolan Marowak. Fire Ghost, good typing. But I don't super love Blacephalon itself. It's not offensive. I think I'll put it right below Oranguru. It's like, it's not offensive. I think it has some good things to it, but I can't justify putting it just higher than that just because the design a little weird. We have Zero Aura. Zero Aura is a Pokemon that I actually like a good amount. It's definitely going at least up in A tier, and it's probably not going to the bottom of A tier either. We're going to put it... I think I will put it in the string of electric types here. I think right below Vikavolt, right above Tapu Bulu. I really like Zero Aura. And then we get to the last two, which I don't really have experience with. These are Melton and Melmetal. They're fine, I guess. It does kind of have a funny... Melton kind of has like funny design. I think it kind of reminds me of like Wishy-Washy. I'll like put it like right next to Wishy-Washy. Melmetal is like fine. I will put it... Oh, I just have no experience with it. I think design-wise, it looks cool. I do think it needs to go a little bit higher. You know, I'll put it like right next to like Golem. I think that's like kind of like similar how I feel. Like, I don't have that much experience with using any of the Alolan, you know, Golem forms or anything like that. but I still like the design, so it'll go there. So that is the entire tier list. That does not quite fit all in one little screenshot, but as we can see, there's a few D tiers, a few bottom tier Pokemon. I think more than Gen 9. I don't think quite as many as Gen 8. A lot more C tier. I feel like there's just a lot of C and B. There's a lot of Pokemon that are like okay, or just like here. There are very few top tier Pokemon. A tier has at least enough to make a second row, but only 5 S tier, 4 of them being redesigns of old Pokemon, and only Palossand is the new lone S tier representative. That's kind of what I mean when I say that I think that the overall quality of Gen 7 Pokemon are a little bit on the weaker end for me, because especially when it comes to new introduced Pokemon, especially when you're just talking about like normal Pokemon that aren't even like legendaries or Ultra Beasts or like important in any way, like you're literally just looking at like Palossand, Blitzpod, Vikavolt, Lycanroc, Decidueye, Rockruff, Rowlet, Tombow, and Dumeyes. And everything else is like important in some way. Like Zeraora probably wouldn't be here if I didn't see the movie. The Ultra Beasts obviously have like their whole thing. The Tapus also have their whole thing. Like I have a lot of like external reasons for why my opinion on things like Tapu Bulu have grown more. So, it's one of those things where it's just like, I just think that the top echelon of Gen 7 Pokemon are just like a lot weaker than other generations, and we'll see if that holds true, because I do think that we are getting into some of the stronger generations of Pokemon. Next time I will be doing Generation 6, so that's going to be fun and exciting. Gen 6 is probably the time that I was most around the Pokemon community during the release of the game. I was very heavily involved in like draft leagues. I was very heavily involved in, doing playthroughs of the game, which I think I did at least, I think I've done multiple playthroughs of, X or Y or whatever on the channel a long time ago. So I have a lot of very intimate, like, relationships and knowledge of X and Y and the Generation 6 Pokemon. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll see how that compares in terms of if there's more top tier Pokemon, bottom tier Pokemon, and how it all lays out across the board. But that is my entire tier list of Gen 7 Pokemon. Let me know some of your opinions, maybe some of your favorites, some of your least favorites, any of my picks that surprised you or didn't surprise you. Any sort of reactions, love to see it in the comments. Hopefully you are still enjoying this little series. I'll keep doing them every so often whenever I have time. So yeah, I hope that you are enjoying these. If so, let me know, but I will see y'all around. So till then, peace out.